you.
Thank you. Can you just narrate your experience on Sunday? Because I can see the video which we saw that went viral. We saw that you were taken in by some security operatives. How did it happen?
Well, I think I have explained and narrated this enough. What is important now is that we should look at the security situation in Imo State, which is becoming something of concern. Right now, uh, what happened yesterday, we have two people who were shot by an aide to the governor, one Nero, and his friend. And they did that in the glare of the public, holding matches and holding den guns, and police were there when this happened. So this is what I'm occupying my mind right now, how to make sure that these people are alive. They've been shot and sustained so many injuries. So, and of recent, Imo State is in the news for wrong reasons. And, it is one uprising or law, one killing or burning of properties. This has not been the case with him for a very long time. This is rather my concern. But if it's narrating the story, it sounds very childish that somebody of my person can be attacked by hoodlums led by the special assistant to the governor, Chinas Samonere or something. And the video is there. And so this time, the young man is still walking freely in the street without being questioned by police. Rather, innocent people who accompanied me were arrested and molested, and even myself invited to a police station. This is what really is the concern right now, because there's no justification as why dogs can be used on my person. This is just my concern.
Okay, Senator, there are those who feel that you went there to usurp an authority which you do not have, an hotel that was sealed by the government official, which is by law, they have the powers to do that, and yet you went and broke the seal, and that was why they arrested you.
Which law? When you say by law, which law? Law?
By their own law, by the law of the state.
Okay, but I was a governor here, and there's no such law that empowers a governor or anybody to use a white paper prepared by a government, use it to save people's property and take over the property. But if you want me to go well into this matter in details, what happened was I called the director of SSS and I asked her, are you aware of any security person sent to my wife's property to guide the place because it's safe? They said there was no such person. I called the commissioner of police and DC operation. They also confirmed that they have not sent any police or security. Then it raised my curiosity to say, who would have done, from where would the police come from? That was what took me to the place. And I saw some policemen at the gate. When I saw this policeman at the gate, I asked them a question. I said, where are you from? Are you police? From where? They said they're from government house. Who sent you? Governor Hope was him through his CSO that we should come here and guide this place. I said, is there any court paper, any court order? He said, no. So what's the problem? Before I complete this statement, I saw the Chinasa one day, the special assistant with one of his colleagues with dogs, with machete and knife, and they came straight to my US and started macheting them. And I give instruction, please don't shoot. Because if you shoot, there are a lot of casualties. The surprising thing there was that the police also, who were supposed to maintain peace, were there when they were doing this. And rather started making some gunshots to scare the moment. And these boys had the audacity and the courage to start macheting people. That Chinas Samonere himself shot my in-law on his foot, and he's right now in the hospital in Abuja. He's gone to Abuja. And shot my orderly, who sustained serious injury, and macheted him. But one surprising thing, rather than taking these hoodlums to the police station, then they turned around and took my boys again to the police station. Then SSS detailed my police officer. And I felt that was simply something that is quite strange. So precisely that was what happened. But at the end of it all, when I wanted to say, okay, when they got their way and destroyed all my cars using bullets and matches of my cars, even my staff car, all of them were destroyed. Then I said, okay, let me just go. And I found out that the police again from Government House wouldn't let me go. And they said I must enter their pickup to government to the police station. And that was what I saw. And the same pickup that they put me in was also carrying the same SA1 that was chanting songs at the back of the pickup. But my greatest surprise was that when I got there, the same moderator with his boys were moving from one police room to another police room giving instruction. Then I knew that at that point I couldn't take it anymore. I said, well, the police couldn't have been the property of the governor. Use it as his will. And somebody like me can be so treated. Then what happens to ordinary citizens? But this has been a recurring decimal in Imo State for people who care to know that the governor has arrogated such powers to himself to arrest people at will. And case study was the widow who was arrested and locked up in the police station for 22 days. An honorable member who was also locked up, a journalist that was locked up and all that. They've been doing all this and been getting away with it. I think this is the last straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm happy that this did happen. So it wasn't a story to myself, but I had it gladly. I don't know what the governor was trying to achieve, but I think this is politics and thuggery and criminality taking too far. But for me, as a peace-loving citizen of this state, for a state I've governed for 8 years, I want peace. But definitely, I think the governor is still beating the drum of war, which is really uncalled for. As a governor, he should be the champion of peace, who would love peaceful atmosphere. I couldn't imagine a governor wanting to have such crisis. Now, he has created tension in Imo State. And right now, as I speak to you, you see army and police in gears cordoning my office, the roundabouts from prison to government house. So much tension. This is uncalled for. This police and army would have been used somewhere else for something better than keeping them there, thinking that Rochas supporters will come and do anything. Meanwhile, I've called for peace. So it's not really the way it should be. And if people don't know, we're there to guide them and teach them.
Now, Senator, you spoke about peace, and you also made a statement that it looks like a political kind of battle. And that was the battle we saw prior to 2019 election between you and Hope Uzodinma. Then you were still a governor. And this moment, it seems the battle is rolling over into other issues. Do you think there's other things behind, beyond politics? And if you want to call for peace, how can peace be between the two of you when you made a statement like this is the last straw that broke the camel's back?
Yeah, because it has been a repeated occurrence, a dismal occurrence. And I think we should put a stop to it. And that must stop. Believe me, it has to stop. I think Hope Uzodinma need understand that APC has come in less than 2 years. He was there many years when he was in PDP before he came. When he was headed by Adam Shimone for what the world knows. How he came from number 4 to number 1 and all that. That's all history. But I think a man who has gone through this kind of thing and found himself in this opportunity, I think he should have chose the wisest course of action, not of this little discussions. I don't know what he wants to achieve. I don't know what is behind it, but I would say it is politics taking too far. I don't know for whatever reason. The last time the governor was quoted as saying, I have not asked him what he's looking for. I don't think I want to be governor again. And I don't want to be governor again, and I will never be governor again. That's the truth. And so he has a space to play. I don't know what should be his role. But in Imo State here, we've had a lot of funny experiences, ranging from when the governor brought down a whole 1,000-bed hospital built at Douglas Road, custom commissioned by the Vice President of Nigeria. And then when he pulled down the tunnel I built, said it was not a good quality, but more than 20 to 50 bulldozers and teloaders and excavators have been there trying to destroy that. They can't even destroy it. I mean, all the roundabouts are being destroyed. I just don't understand. It still doesn't make sense to me why this has been destroyed. What is it? If they say it's of low quality, can you just do one so we can compare and see which one is better? But that's not been done. Whatever I have built in Imo State is being destroyed as I speak. And I don't understand why it is. That is not. Once you cross politics, you have entered into governance. And once you're a governor of all the people in Imo State, not even party. I was a governor for 8 years. There was no record of me ever arresting anybody. And of course, I was the most criticized, most abused. Most of the time, I'm called a crowd for supporting APC and all that. But I've never reacted. I just said to them, my people, my usual way, to create peace. Every wise, sensible governor should pray for peace in his state. But right now, for the governor to have introduced toggle in the system, that is not good. And holding machetes. It's okay. I don't know where the policeman came from, but I'm still want to question the IG to please find out where this policeman came from, and they should be arrested and be questioned. If not, I don't see the essence of police inviting anybody and questioning them. If the criminals on video and tape can be questioned, talks can be questioned and be found out, then it will discourage good citizens from being good. But all the same, this is my state, and I want the best for it, anytime, any day. So what happened before has happened. Was APC struggle, and you know the story, of course. The whole world knows the story of how it became and what happened, how Emeka became governor, and the person who was supposed to be the governor was not the governor, and all the story. That is gone. That's past. We don't go back to the past. What is before us now, my concern in the state, is level of thuggery being introduced. I stopped that many years ago. And once these youths who have no job follow the footsteps of the governor and his team, like the young man, his essay, then the place will be full of thugs. And it's not good for the society.
All right. All right, Senator Rochas Okorocha, I think this is the much we can take tonight on the issue, and we hope, just like you said, that what you are calling for is peace, and you have asked your supporters to sheath their sword and embrace peace. We are hoping that the peace that you are calling for, we will definitely see it. But what will you do next, moving forward? Before I let you go, what are your opinion? What will you do next after this?
Well, what I really want to do next, one particular thing I want to see that those criminals and those thugs and those people are being questioned for the police. At least correct the impression that police has ended or supported this illegal act, since it was caught on video and it was in my very presence. Once that is done, I think it will help to calm nerves. That's number one. I don't mind the records that will destroyed and all that. That is not it. And two, that I will advise the governor to learn to obey the rule of law. He's a product of court. Means that he went to court and won his election and became governor. So he should respect every court judgment. There are a lot of issues that are on ground that needs to be addressed. One, for instance, is the issue of the party structure. The party in Imo State has a court judgment from Court of Appeal, which has not been challenged, saying that the current chairman remains chairman until the structure remains the structure until the expiration of the time in 2022. The governor came and disturbed them against court's judgment and then put a structure. And so, where does that leave us? Now, you went to somebody's property. You said you had a panel of inquiry. The report of the panel was never published anywhere in this world. The white paper was never published. The Gazette was never published. And you just sat up and woke up one day and say you have a report and go to see people's property. A white paper can never be used to seal a property under any law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, be it state or federal law. That is not to everybody. You still have to go through the process of the court to enforce it. So when you start taking people's property by force, that's what is very strong. Those are things that have to be corrected. Secondly, he was pursuing this matter with EFCC. He has reported to EFCC on the allegation that the said property was built by my wife using state funds. And as I speak to you, the matter has gone to court. And in the first court, it was confirmed that no traces of any fund to that. And that they've appealed to that. We're still in court on that matter, and all my other properties. But for the governor to say that he's not making headway in EFCC now, turn to use the police thugs as cheaper way to achieve this, and no longer claiming that it was money of the state that was used, but this time saying that the property was built on a green verge, and that CO4 was issued by a governor. And so government is a continuum. That one governor gives CO4 does not make another governor not take responsibility. And there are more than 250 plus of land carved in that new area. Only one this single property is issued. So it looks to me like an issue of envy, an issue of hate, an issue of politics taking too far. So what I think I would do is to wait and see as events unfold. And while I review this ambush, it's created so much panic in the state and nationwide. But for the love of my state, I just pray.
With the law based on the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. And he went and took talks there. He led the talks, so it's like the chief talk. He led them and went to break into the place. And police went there and caught him in the act and took him to their custody. And this was confirmed by the police headquarters in Owerri. So he's trying to turn the narrative, but it's not surprising because that's his talking thread. But unfortunately, while he was doing that, his own people videoed the thing where he was boasting, and the thing went viral. So everybody saw it, saw what he did, and there is nothing he can do to change the facts. The facts are there. I expect that somebody in his position should feel very, very, very remorseful about what he did. But sadly, he's not doing that. He's trying to turn the table around, which will not work because the facts are there. The police could not have invited him if the facts were otherwise. So the question the public should ask is, why did the police invite him? Why were his aides, about 17 of them, arraigned in court today? And why were they granted bail with the sum of 70 million? So who were the real attackers? Who were the people who breached the law? Who were the people who took the laws into their hands? I think the facts are clear, and nobody should be in doubt about that.
Okay. Now, if you say that he is an architect of such thing, does it mean because the former governor is always fond, like you said, always fond of doing the wrong thing, that should continue in this administration?
No. What we are saying is that his administration was marked by crass lawlessness. He never obeyed any law. He never ruled by the law. He just was doing whatever he liked, and that has been demonstrated through this behavior he exhibited on Sunday. That's yesterday, and he thinks that that's the normal way of life. We are a very law-abiding government. We believe in due process, and that is why what the government did was based on the recommendations of a Judicial Commission of Inquiry, which was even set up by the administration before us, which we came and then adopted. So there is absolutely nothing that we did that was against the law. The premises was sealed based of inquiry, which has the force of law. So, but he went and went violent, became violent, and went to break the keys. People caught him on video doing that. So we are trying to restore law and order that he completely ignored while he was here for 8 years. So I think that the Imo people also know the truth, and they are commending the government. They are commending the government for restraining itself from falling to the provocation of the governor, who took talks, who were armed. Police recovered arms and ammunition from them, including pump action and so many other things. So these facts are there, and nobody can hide it. And they are already facts before a court of law. because if the police didn't find any evidence, they wouldn't have arraigned anybody in court. And those who were those arraigned in court today, they are his people, his former commissioners, his former SAs, and so on and so forth. And that's the truth of the matter, and we should be able to tell the former governor that he behaved in a very disgraceful manner on becoming of a former governor, and he should accept it and be remorseful for it. That is not how to behave, and that is not the way to show leadership. It's a shame, very big shame, that a former governor, who is even a senator, could decide to turn himself into a chief thug that went to break into property seized by the government. That's not how to behave.
Mr. Declan, yes. Don't you think there are other ways to handle this issue other than this way that people had to take to arms and then attack on each other? We saw a lot of persons injured. Where some of the pictures that we saw are not pictures that are airworthy, and we can't use them here. Are they not supposed to be other ways to handle this issue quietly that would not attract this kind of scene that greeted it on Sunday?
Well, the person to ask that question is the former governor, because what the government did was very lawful, just sealed property based on the prescriptions of law. And if he had not gone to violently unseal the place, maybe police wouldn't have gone there too. And he didn't just go alone, he went with a band of thugs. So the question should be whether that was the best way a former governor should have gone about an issue, even if he felt that what was done was wrong, even if he felt that way, was the best way to go about it, going with thugs to break into the place forcefully, and boasting that I'm daring anybody to come and challenge me. That's not, I think it's important that we call a spade a spade. If there was anybody who ignited violence or whatever, it was the former governor. And the law had to take its full course. And I don't think the state government is doing anything to either escalate the situation or to add to it. What happened was straightforward. He broke the law, and the law caught up with him. Hence, he was invited by the police. If he didn't do anything to breach the law, no police wouldn't have invited him. It wasn't the state government that took him to police station. It was the police that took him to police station. And they had good reason to do that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Declan, he has said he is subscribing to peace and is calling on his supporters to also do same. Is the state governor and the state government also subscribing to peace?
This is one of the most peaceful governments since the history of Imo State. We love peace. That is why we have refused to be provoked. You know, this same former governor, in a video that went viral, was swearing to his supporters that he's richer than the state government, that they should go and warn the governor, that he's richer than the state government, that he can do anything, and he just demonstrated it. All those things he was doing, we refuse to be provoked. Okay. When we have all the evidence that even what is happening in Olo, he's behind it, we refuse to be provoked. He has urged his supporters to go and be disrupting the APC registration exercise. We are aware of all this, and we refuse to be provoked. But this one is that he played into the hands of law enforcement agents. So we're a peaceful government where we believe in peace, and we will always do anything, make any sacrifice to have